Hey there, coin enthusiasts and curious collectors. Imagine stumbling across a rusty old penny in your drawer, only to find out it's worth a whopping $1.9 million. Sounds too good to be true, right? Well, today we're diving into the story of the 1982 no mint Mark Lincoln penny, a coin that could quite literally change your life. Stick around because I'm not only going to tell you why this seemingly ordinary coin is worth so much, but I'll also share a little story about how I once almost tossed a valuable penny into a fountain for good luck. Spoiler alert, I'm still not over it, so grab a cup of coffee or your favorite snack because we're about to get into one of the most exciting coin stories ever. Alright, let's start with the basics. The 1982 no mint Mark Lincoln penny might look like any other penny you'd find in your pocket change, but there's one major difference: it's incredibly valuable. You see, 1982 was a transitional year for the penny. The US Mint decided to switch from a mostly copper composition to a zinc core with a thin copper coating. Why? Rising copper prices. Yep, it turns out that pennies were actually costing more than a cent to make, and now, here's where it gets interesting. During the transition, some pennies were minted without a mint mark. Most of the pennies from that year came from the Philadelphia Mint, and they didn't include a mint mark. Nothing too special, right? Wrong. It turns out that a small number of these pennies were struck on the older copper planchets by mistake. And that's the jackpot we're talking about. Now, let me tell you about that time I almost tossed a rare penny into a fountain. I was at this little park, and I reached into my pocket to find some change. Out came a penny that looked a little worn out. Without thinking, I was about to flick it into the water when my friend, who knows a lot about coins, stopped me. He looked at the penny and nearly fainted. Turns out, it wasn't a 1982 no mint mark, but it was a coin worth way more than a cent. Since then, I always double-check my coins. The real kicker here is that the copper version weighs about 3.11 grams, while the zinc version weighs 2.5 grams. So, if you have a 1982 penny with no mint mark, grab a small scale and weigh it. If it's the heavier copper version, you might just have struck gold, or, well, copper. Simply put, it's all about rarity and error. Only a few of these copper pennies slipped through, and collectors are willing to pay a premium for one. Finding one is like winning the coin collector's lottery. Double-check pennies from older collections or estate sales. Sometimes, people have no idea what they're holding. Alright folks, if you find one of these pennies, don't throw it in a fountain like I almost did. Instead, get it authenticated and graded by a professional. Who knows, your lucky penny might just pay off your mortgage. Before you go hunting through your change jar, make sure to hit that subscribe button for more coin tips and stories. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on finding out if that dusty penny in your car cup holder is worth a fortune. Alright, let's get into the nitty-gritty of this little penny that could. The 1985 D Lincoln penny isn't just another coin in your pocket change. It's one of those rare, highly sought-after finds that collectors and numismatists are chasing down. But what makes it so special, you ask? First off, the 1985 D isn't rare in terms of how many were minted. About 5 billion of these bad boys were produced at the Denver Mint. That's a lot of pennies, right? But here's where it gets interesting. Some of these pennies have a unique characteristic that can make them incredibly valuable. It's not the design, it's not the wear and tear, it's something much more subtle, something that can send a penny's value soaring. Errors. You see, some 1985 D pennies were struck with a double die, meaning the design on the coin was stamped more than once, causing a slight overlap in the details. It might sound like a small mistake, but when it comes to coins, that mistake can make a world of difference. A double die error makes the coin incredibly rare, and that rarity is what drives the price up to that jaw-dropping $2 million mark. Imagine just casually finding this in your pocket change. That'd be like winning the lottery with a 1-cent ticket. Now, how do you know if your 1985 D penny has the error? Great question. First, you'll want to look closely at the date, the lettering, and even Abraham Lincoln's face. Is there any extra definition or a slight ghosting effect around the details? If so, you could have a double die. And remember, the clearer the double die, the higher the value. Now, let's get real for a second. I know what you're thinking. How likely is it that I'm actually going to find a double die 1985 D penny in my change? Honestly? Not super likely. But it's not impossible either. A few years ago, I was going through a box of old coins from my grandma's attic. Don't judge, I'm a coin nerd, and I found a 1971 penny that had an error I never even noticed before. It wasn't worth millions, but it was worth way more than a regular penny. Let me tell you, finding that coin felt like I had just discovered treasure. It's those little moments that make this hobby so exciting, and here's another thing. These pennies aren't just valuable for their rarity, they're also part of a larger trend in the world of numismatics. In recent years, coin collecting has exploded in popularity, and with that, the value of certain rare coins has skyrocketed. The 1985 D double die error penny is one of those coins that collectors will continue to chase. It's kind of like the golden ticket of pennies. You don't just find these every day, so if you do have one, you're sitting on a potential fortune. But before you start going through every penny you own, let's talk about how much this coin is actually worth. Like I said, a double die 1985 D penny can be worth up to $2 million. But there are a few things that factor into the value: the condition of the coin. If it's in mint condition, you're looking at a much higher price tag. The clarity of the error. A clear, noticeable double die will fetch a lot more than a faint 1.so. Now you're wondering, how do I find one of these magical 1985 D double die pennies? Well, it's all about keeping your eyes peeled. The best advice I can give you is to go through your change, hit up your local coin dealers, and check out online auctions. Be patient, because you never know when a coin that's been sitting in your jar for years could turn into your ticket to big bucks. The 1985 D Mint Mark Lincoln penny, a coin that could change your life if you happen to find the right one. While it's not easy to come across, it's definitely worth keeping an eye out for. Remember, rare errors like this are the kind of thing that makes coin collecting so exciting. It's like a treasure hunt, and you never know when you'll hit the jackpot. If you enjoyed this dive into the world of valuable coins, be sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell, because I've got a lot more stories, tips, and strategies coming your way. Whether you're an experienced collector or just starting out, there's always something new to learn. And hey, maybe one of these days, you'll find your own $2 million penny. Let me know in the comments if you've ever found any rare or unusual coins. Let's swap some stories. Until next time, happy hunting, and remember, every coin has a story, just some stories are worth a lot more than others. Hey there, coin lovers. You've probably heard the phrase, a penny saved is a penny earned, but what if I told you that some pennies could be worth a small fortune? Yeah, you heard that right. That humble little penny that you toss into your couch cushions or let roll around your car seat could actually be worth a lot more than you think. So, today, we're talking about a penny from 2014, yes, a 2014 Lincoln penny that could be worth $1.1 million. You're probably thinking, what? A penny from 2014? And I get it. It sounds crazy, but stay with me, because the story behind this penny is wild. Mint Mark Lincoln penny is rare, and by rare, I mean really rare. But here's the kicker, it's not like it's just sitting out there in your local coin shop with a big "Buy Me" sign on it. You won't find these on every corner, and that's what makes this coin so special. Host walks over to a table with various pennies, showing a close-up of the 2014 penny first. Let's talk about the no mint mark part. Normally, you'd expect to see a mint mark on your coins, a little D4 Denver, or maybe an S4 San Francisco. But the 2014 no mint Mark Lincoln penny is missing that. Now, don't go rushing to grab your pennies thinking, I'm gonna be rich, because these are not everywhere. In fact, only a handful of these no mint Mark pennies are out there, and that's what makes them so valuable. Look, I get it. When I started collecting, I was pretty much like you, just diving into these coins hoping to find a goldmine in my pocket change. And let me tell you, I've found some real winners, like that one penny I thought was worth something but turned out to be just, well, not. Kind of like that time I thought my avocado toast would make me Instagram famous but just left me hungry and slightly embarrassed. So, lesson learned, not every coin is a jackpot. But sometimes, there's that one lucky find that makes it all worth it. This 2014 no mint Mark penny could be one of those finds. Now, here's where the value comes into play. The 2014 no mint Mark penny is crazy valuable because of its rarity. Some say there's only a handful of these floating around, and not every 2014 penny without a mint mark is worth a fortune. It's all about the condition of the coin, its centering, and the overall details that make this little copper nugget stand out from the rest. If you've got a perfect one, congratulations! It could be worth up to $1.1 million. Yeah, I said it, million. You know, I once had a penny collection that looked amazing, until I realized most of them were, not so rare. But I didn't give up. I kept learning, kept researching, and hey, I'm not a millionaire from coins yet, but I've learned some serious tips and tricks along the way, and I'm here to share them with you. Finding a 2014 no mint mark penny that's in excellent condition is like finding a needle in a haystack. But if you do, you're sitting on a small fortune. So, when you're going through your change, don't just toss that penny aside. Take a moment, inspect it. Check if there's a mint mark. If there isn't, give it a closer look, because it could be your ticket to $1 million payday. Host picks up a magnifying glass and inspects a penny in a comically exaggerated fashion. Just don't do what I did when I first started collecting. I used to pull out my magnifying glass and inspect every penny, and I mean every penny. I had an entire drawer filled with pennies that I swore would make me rich. It was like my personal coin hoarding phase. But hey, at least I looked super professional when friends came over. Anyway, the point is, not every penny is going to be a treasure. But if you do find the right one, it can change everything. One of the keys to spotting rare coins like this is knowing what you're looking for. Don't just go after every penny without a mint mark. Make sure it's in great condition and has the right features. The 2014 no mint mark penny, for example, needs to be near mint or uncirculated condition to be worth the jaw-dropping $1.1 million. And here's something that a lot of people miss: you need to get the coin professionally graded. I know, it sounds like a lot of extra work, but it's worth it. You can't just assume a penny is worth big bucks because it's from 2014 and has no mint mark. The grading process takes into account things like the coin centering, luster, and any imperfections. So, if you find one, get it graded before you start making plans to buy that new yacht. So, to recap, the 2014 no mint mark Lincoln penny could be worth $1.1 million if you've got a rare one in great condition. If you're lucky enough to find one, make sure you get it professionally graded and don't just toss it into the random change pile. You never know, it could be the golden ticket you've been waiting for. And hey, I get it, sometimes coin hunting feels like a full-time job. But trust me, it's worth it when you uncover those hidden gems. And if you've enjoyed learning about rare coins like this, or if you want more tips and tricks on how to find coins worth money, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I've got tons more tips coming your way, and you don't want to miss out on the next big discovery. Who knows, maybe your next penny is just waiting to make you a millionaire. Alright, that's it for today's video. Thanks for hanging out with me, and remember, you might just be sitting on a goldmine and not even know it. So, keep hunting those coins, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like the video, and drop a comment telling me about any rare coins you've found. I want to hear your stories. And hey, if you've got any tips of your own, let me know. I could use all the help I can get. Catch you later. Hey, coin lovers! Have you ever thought that something as small as a penny could make you rich? Well, buckle up, because today we're diving into the story of a coin that's worth a jaw-dropping $1.2 million. And no, I'm not talking about some ancient gold coin or a rare error from centuries ago. Nope, this little treasure is from 2001, yes, 2001, and it has no mint mark. Sounds crazy, right? But trust me, this penny story is worth your attention. A montage of pennies being sorted through with close-ups of different Lincoln pennies, showing a variety of dates and mint marks. Now, before you go digging through your loose change jar, let's clear something up. This $1.2 million penny isn't just your run-of-the-mill coin. It's a 2001 Lincoln penny, that's right, from just over 2 decades ago, and here's the kicker: it has no mint mark. No D for Denver, no S for San Francisco, just a clean, mintless coin. You're probably thinking, wait a second, did I miss the memo? How in the world is a coin worth more than a house? Well, hold on to your pennies, folks, because this story is about to get interesting. The key to this coin's value isn't just about rarity. It's about a tiny error that made all the difference. You see, back in 2001, the US Mint produced pennies that were supposed to have a mint mark, the little D or S you're used to seeing. But somehow, a small batch of these pennies slipped through the cracks without a mint mark at all. And it's this very error that makes this coin so valuable. I mean, I can't even imagine how it happened. Maybe someone at the mint just forgot to press the mint mark stamp? Or maybe a sneaky leprechaun broke into the minting facility and decided, you know what? I'm taking a break from gold, and today I'm just going to make this one little coin super valuable. But for real, this kind of minting error is what makes coins like this so sought after. It's rare, it's unique, and when a mistake like this happens, collectors go crazy for it. And that's why the 2001 no mint mark penny is valued at $1.2 million today. Not bad for a penny you could have gotten for just 1 cent at your local convenience store, right? Now, let's break down why this penny is so valuable. When it comes to rare coins, condition is key. If your 2001 no mint mark penny is in pristine condition, like it was minted yesterday, it could fetch a huge amount. And remember, there's a good chance that if you find one of these pennies in your change jar, it's not going to be in perfect shape. But hey, even if it's worn, it could still be worth more than its face value. Now, you're probably wondering, how can I find one of these things? Well, I've got a story for you. A while back, I was rummaging through some of my old change, that jar of pennies and dimes you never know what to do with? I had all these pennies from 2001, and I thought, probably not worth much. But then I thought, what if? So, I googled it, did a little research, and I found out there's a real chance that a couple of those pennies could be worth more than I could ever imagine. Talk about a happy surprise. Unfortunately, I didn't find a $1.2 million penny, but it was still a fun adventure. And hey, it's a reminder to check your coins, folks. If you're anything like me, you probably toss pennies in that jar, but one of those pennies might just be the golden ticket. Or, well, the mintless ticket in this case. Now, don't expect all your pennies to be worth $1 million. But if you happen to find a 2001 no mint mark Lincoln penny, please don't just toss it out thinking it's not worth anything. You might want to get it appraised, who knows? It could change your life. And here's the thing, if you're into coins, and you love the idea of finding valuable treasures like this, you're going to want to subscribe to this channel. I'm always diving into coin values, hunting down the rarest pennies, nickels, and dimes, and sharing tips on how you can cash in on your own coin collection. So, if you don't want to miss out on more tips like this, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I promise, we're going to have a lot of fun uncovering the hidden gems in your coin jar together. Alright, friends, there you have it, the $1.2 million 2001 no mint mark Lincoln penny. It might not be in your pocket right now, but hey, it's always worth checking your change. Who knows? The next rare penny might be just one flip of the coin away. Until next time, keep those coins in check, and as always, happy hunting. The screen fades to a call to action with a subscribe button and some fun, upbeat music. Remember to subscribe for more cool coin tips and strategies. See you in the next video. Hey, what's up, coin lovers? Welcome back to the channel, where we're all about turning old pocket change into potential gold mines. I've got a jaw-dropping story for you today. I mean, this is the kind of coin story that will make you want to start checking your change at the bottom of your couch, like, right now. Imagine digging through your spare change drawer. No, wait, let's be real, it's probably just a random mess of old receipts and gum wrappers. But in that chaos, you spot something that catches your eye. A 1984 Lincoln penny. Maybe it's been sitting there for decades, or maybe it's fresh from a recent pocket drop. Either way, you're not thinking much of it until you find out that this little copper coin is worth $1.30 million. Yes, you heard me right. $1.3 million for a single penny. And no, it's not some Hollywood movie plot. It's real, and today, we're diving deep into what makes this 1984 no mint mark Lincoln penny so ridiculously valuable. Alright, let's break this down. So, the 1984 Lincoln penny. In most cases, this penny is just like any other penny you might find rolling around in your car's cup holder or buried under that stack of fast food napkins you still haven't thrown away. It's got a nice, shiny Abraham Lincoln face on one side and the classic Lincoln Memorial on the other. But, here's the thing, normally, the US Mint stamps a mint mark on coins to indicate where they were produced. For most coins, the mint mark is on the front, just below Lincoln's shoulder, and now, you might think, okay, so it's missing a mint mark. Big deal. But here's the kicker. It's not just a random error or mistake. When there's no mint mark on a coin, it indicates that something weird happened during the minting process. Something rare and valuable. When this penny was made in 1984, the US Mint was dealing with all sorts of chaos. A coin press broke down, and instead of fixing it, they just let the press keep running, which produced a batch of pennies without the mint mark. Only a few of these bad boys got out into circulation. Fewer than 10,000 pennies were affected, and that makes this coin a true rarity, like finding a unicorn in your backyard, except way more valuable, worth 1 cent. But this one? Worth up to $1.3 million. Yep, that's not a typo. A single penny could be sitting in your change jar, and you wouldn't even know it's worth more than a fancy sports car. Let me take you back to when I first learned about this penny. I was sorting through some old coins of my own, looking for that one gem that would make me rich enough to buy a house made of gold, or at least enough to pay for a decent vacation, still working on the whole rich enough for a house of gold thing. I was feeling pretty good about a 1969 penny I found, but then I stumbled on an article about this 1984 no mint mark penny. It blew my mind. And just like that, my entire coin collection went from oh, nice, some old coins to oh no, is there a $1.3 million gem hiding in here? The suspense was killing me, but of course, I didn't find it. Because who finds a $1.3 million coin in their change, right? But I'm sure someone out there is gonna stumble across one of these 1984 pennies, and I'm gonna be the first to say, I called it. Now, you might be wondering, okay, so this is a cool story, but why is it actually worth $1.3 million? Let's break it down a little more. The key reason why this penny is so valuable is that it's an error coin. Error coins are always in demand because they're rare. People collect these coins because they're not just pieces of currency, they're part of coin history. In this case, the minting mistake made this penny even rarer and more valuable than any other 1984 penny. And because it's a no mint mark error, it's considered a highly sought after piece for serious collectors. Error coins like this aren't just valuable in the numismatic world, they're a great investment. People love the thrill of owning a piece of history that can appreciate over time, and I get it. If you're anything like me, you dream about that one lucky find that turns your coin collection into a goldmine. This penny's value isn't just going to randomly drop. It's only going to rise over time as more and more collectors become aware of its rarity. So, if you're lucky enough to find one, you're sitting on a little piece of history that could literally make you a millionaire. Check your spare change, people. You never know what you might find. That one unassuming penny in your jar could be worth more than the entire change in your wallet, your piggy bank, and your retirement fund. Don't lie, we all know you have one of those secret change jars you never touch. If you liked this video, or if you're now eagerly going through your change trying to find a 1984 no mint mark Lincoln penny, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button, because I've got more coin tips and tricks coming your way. We're talking rare pennies, nickels, dimes, and everything in between. Who knows? Maybe your next coin could be worth a fortune, and I'll be here to tell you all about it. Alright, coin collectors, keep hunting and stay sharp, because those rare finds are out there, just waiting for you to discover them. Until next time, keep your pennies close, and your $1 million ones even closer. Catch you in the next video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment below if you've ever found something valuable in your change. Let's share the good vibes. Hey, coin lovers! Did you know that a single penny from 1979 with a D mint mark could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.4 million? Yes, you heard that right, a penny. You probably have a few of them tucked away in your drawer right now, and one of them could be sitting on a fortune. But what makes this little coin worth so much? Stick around to find out, because you might just be sitting on a goldmine without even knowing it. Welcome back to the channel, where we dive deep into the world of valuable coins and collectibles. If you're new here, I'm your name, and today, we're talking about the elusive 1979 D mint mark Lincoln penny, a coin that's quietly been hiding in plain sight. It's not the most glamorous penny out there, but for those of us who love a good treasure hunt, this coin is the real deal. We're going to explore why it's worth a whopping $1.4 million and how you can spot one. So, grab that change jar, and let's dive into it. Now, you might be wondering, what in the world makes a 1979 D mint mark penny worth that much? I mean, it's just a penny, right? Well, you're not wrong. At first glance, it looks like any other penny you've come across over the years. But, this is where things get interesting. So, here's the backstory. The 1979 D penny was minted with a regular batch of coins. It wasn't the first to have the D mint mark, and it wasn't the last. But a few of these bad boys, due to some very specific minting errors, ended up being super rare and worth a whole lot of money. There were a small number of 1979 D pennies that were struck with a unique, highly sought after error, and that's what makes them so valuable today. They were part of a batch with a specific die that caused a double die error, meaning the design was stamped twice on the coin. This type of error doesn't happen every day, and it makes the coin a rare collector's item. Now, let's get into the details of what makes these pennies so valuable. First, it's not just any 1979 D penny, it's a 1979 D penny that shows the distinct double die effect, typically visible in the lettering and Lincoln's features. You've got to know what you're looking for, because if you can spot one of these, you're holding onto something truly special. But here's the kicker: the key to unlocking its value lies in the condition of the penny. If the coin is in excellent condition, that makes it even more valuable. Imagine finding a $1.4 million coin just lying around in your change jar or rolled up in the back of your closet, buried underneath all those pennies that just keep piling up. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, it's happened before. And I know what you're thinking: I don't have any of those. Well, I'll tell you what. I thought the same thing, until I found a similar coin in a random pile of change I had. Let me tell you, it was a game changer. And now, I know some of you are like, yeah, right, another internet story about some random lucky guy finding treasure in his couch cushions. But trust me, it happens more often than you think. I mean, what are the odds that your grandma's coin jar could hold something worth over $1 million? Well, let's just say I found out the hard way after digging through old change I had totally forgotten about. So, if you've got a jar of change sitting around, take a minute to check those pennies. You never know when you could come across a hidden gem. Alright, now that you're thinking about all the pennies you've tossed aside, how do you know if one of yours could be worth $1.4 million? Well, here's the breakdown. Look at the front of the penny, at Abraham Lincoln's face. You should be able to spot the error. If the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust" look like they've been stamped twice, you might have a winner on your hands. The double die effect is subtle, but once you know what to look for, it's easier to spot. It's not about just any 1979 D penny, only those with the right amount of wear and that specific double die error are going to fetch you a crazy amount of cash. And here's the thing: condition matters. If the coin is heavily worn, the value is going to drop significantly, so make sure to check for those clear markings before you get too excited. Alright, so let me tell you a little personal story that will give you an idea of how crazy this whole coin business can be. About a year ago, I was at a local coin show, just browsing, chatting with some of the collectors, and totally geeking out over rare finds. One of the vendors was showing me a collection of random pennies. Most were the typical ones you'd find in circulation, but then bam, he pulled out a 1979 D penny. This one was in near perfect condition, and when I asked him about it, he said it was worth close to $100,000. I'm not gonna lie, I couldn't stop staring at it. And the craziest part? That penny wasn't even the most valuable item on his table. It hit me right then and there how crazy the world of coin collecting is. You never know when you might stumble across a penny, or any coin, really, that could be worth a ton. So, after that experience, I started looking at my coins a little differently. Turns out, I found some pretty rare stuff that day too. And just like that, the hunt was on. Keep an eye on those pennies. Specifically, check for the 1979 D mint mark Lincoln penny. If you find one in mint condition with that double die error, you could be sitting on a $1.4 million treasure. You might think you don't have one, but it's always worth a second look before you head out to search through your coin jars. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. I'll keep bringing you tips and tricks to spot coins that could make you a fortune. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on these valuable gems. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Happy hunting, and remember to always check your change. Don't forget, if you want more coin tips, hit that bell icon so you'll be the first to know when a new video drops. Who knows? Your next $1 million coin might just be one click away. See you next time. Alright, folks, if you have a 1994 Lincoln penny lying around in your coin jar right now, you might want to sit down for this. Because that penny could actually be worth, drumroll please, $1.5 million. Yep, you heard that right. This tiny little coin, that you probably tossed aside without a second thought, could be sitting on a fortune. So, if you don't want to miss out on a potential goldmine just hiding in your wallet, keep watching. I'm about to dive into everything you need to know about the 1994 no-mint mark Lincoln penny and how it went from being a pocket change coin to something worth a king's ransom. But before we get into the nitty-gritty, let me hit you with a question. How many of you have ever checked the back of your penny for a mint mark and thought, yeah, that's probably nothing special? Well, trust me, there are stories out there that'll make you think twice about every coin you've ever held. So let's jump in. Okay, first things first. Let's talk about this 1994 no-mint mark penny. Now, most pennies from that year were stamped with a mint mark. But this little guy, the one with no mint mark, is the anomaly. You see, the mint mark on a coin typically indicates where it was produced: Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. But in 1994, a small batch of pennies was made in Philadelphia without the usual P mint mark. And because of this tiny error, these pennies became extremely rare. And when I say rare, I mean really rare. We're talking about a coin with only a few dozen still floating around, which makes it one of the most sought-after pennies for collectors. So, why the heck does this penny command such a high value? Well, the value of a coin is usually tied to its rarity, demand, and condition. And let's just say, this 1994 no-mint mark penny ticks all the boxes. First off, there's only a small handful of these puppies left. We're talking a minting error that creates a coin so rare, collectors lose their minds trying to get their hands on one. It's like finding an original copy of your favorite book, but one that's been signed by the author and has a typo that makes it a collector's dream. Second, demand is skyrocketing. People who know their stuff about coins are all over this one. They're not just looking for any old penny, nope, they want the holy grail of pennies, and this little guy is exactly that. Now, the third and probably most important factor? Condition. If you find a 1994 no-mint mark penny that's in good shape, by good shape, I mean no major scratches, dings, or wear and tear, you could be holding onto a pretty penny, pun intended. The better the condition, the higher the value. And I'm talking about coins in almost mint condition being worth up to $1.5 million. Can you imagine? A little penny, just hanging out in your drawer, turning into a life-changing amount of cash? Now, let me tell you a little story to drive this home. Back in the day, I'm talking like, way back when I was still collecting coins as a hobby, my mom told me to clean out my room. And what did I do? I grabbed all the junk coins I had tossed into an old jar over the years. You know the ones, nickels, pennies, all sorts of stuff. I didn't think much of them, but I took the jar to a coin shop anyway. I remember walking into that shop like I was some kind of big spender, all proud of my jar of treasure. The guy behind the counter took one look at my pennies and said, "Do you realize you've got a 1943 steel penny in here?" I swear, my heart stopped. I had no idea. That penny alone was worth a couple $100. And you know what happened next? I sold the whole jar, but I've regretted it ever since. Every time I find a random penny in my change, I think to myself, is this the one? Moral of the story, always check your coins. You never know when you're holding onto a potential fortune. Now, I'm sure you're wondering, how can I spot one of these elusive 1994 no-mint mark pennies? It's actually pretty easy once you know what to look for. First, grab a regular 1994 penny and take a look at the back. You'll see a mint mark right under the word Liberty. Now, for the 1994 no-mint mark penny, there will be nothing there, no P, D, or S. Now, it's important to note that just because the penny doesn't have a mint mark doesn't mean it's worth $1 million. The coin still needs to be in pretty good condition. If it's all scratched up or faded from years of being in a pocket, it's not gonna be worth much. But if it's in decent condition, you might just have a $1.5 million coin in your hands. Alright, so now that you're all experts on the 1994 no-mint mark penny, it's time to go digging through your change and start hunting for those rare gems. Remember, the key is rarity, demand, and condition. If you have one of these beauties, make sure to get it appraised. And hey, if you find one, I want you to come back here and tell me all about it. Host, But hey, don't get discouraged if you don't have one of these pennies, there are plenty of other coins out there that could be worth a pretty penny, too. So make sure to hit that subscribe button because I've got tons more tips and tricks on how to find valuable coins hiding in plain sight. Whether it's rare pennies, nickels, or even dimes, trust me, there's a lot of money in those pockets. Thanks for watching, and remember, always check your change. You might just be sitting on a small fortune. Catch you next time, coin hunters. Subscribe to my channel for more fun tips on coins worth money, and who knows? Maybe your next coin could be the next big score. See ya! Alright, guys, grab a seat and listen up, because today, we're diving into a little piece of history that's not just rare, but also worth a serious chunk of change. Picture this: you're digging through a jar of loose change, looking for a quarter to buy your coffee, and boom! You stumble across a 1979 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, and suddenly, you've got $1.6 million in your hands. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, trust me, it's possible. But how do you know if you've actually got the golden ticket? Stay tuned, because we're about to break it down. Let's get one thing out of the way right off the bat: 1979 pennies are not all created equal. Sure, there were millions of these pennies minted that year, but there's a special, mysterious, and very rare version that can fetch you a jaw-dropping $1.6 million. Yep, I said million with an M. And it all has to do with one very important detail: the absence of a mint mark. Normally, pennies are stamped with a mint mark, like D4 Denver or S4 San Francisco. But the 1979 no-mint mark Lincoln penny? Well, it's an anomaly. It's the type of penny you don't expect to find just lying around. These missing mint marks were discovered by collectors and numismatists after a handful of these pennies made their way into circulation. And let me tell you, when these bad boys hit the market, they didn't just fly under the radar, they soared in value. We're talking about a coin worth millions that you might have in your pocket right now. Crazy, right? Now, here's a fun little story for you. So, I've been a coin collector for years, well, not that many, but let's say I know my way around a jar of pennies. One day, I'm sitting with my buddy Dave, who's a die-hard penny collector. We're chilling, talking about random stuff, and I ask him, "Hey, have you seen any cool finds lately?" He grins, pulls out a dusty old 1979 penny from his wallet, and casually says, "I think I might have found something special." Of course, I'm thinking, yeah, sure, Dave, you and your rare finds, but what does he do? He flips that penny over, and there it is, a 1979 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. I swear, I nearly fell out of my chair. It was like witnessing the discovery of gold. At that moment, I realized, wow, there's a lot more to these pennies than meets the eye. Anyway, the key to knowing whether you've got a winner in your pocket is really paying attention to the details. The 1979 no-mint mark penny should have no mint mark at all. Not on the obverse, not on the reverse, nowhere. If you see a D or S, well, you've got an ordinary 1979 penny, still valuable, but nothing that's going to make you a millionaire overnight. Now, why is this penny so valuable? It's all about scarcity. A lot of these coins were either discarded or melted down, and fewer of them were kept in circulation. And on top of that, it's a unique error coin. There's just something about these types of coins, people love finding a mistake in the minting process. It's like the ultimate treasure hunt. Okay, now I know what you're thinking. Where do I find one? Well, chances are, you probably won't stumble upon one by accident. These rare 1979 no-mint mark pennies are typically found by experienced collectors or folks who know what they're looking for. If you're searching through your old change jar, keep your eyes peeled, look for that key feature, no mint mark. While this penny is worth up to $1.6 million, you've got to consider the condition. A pristine, uncirculated penny will fetch more than one that's been through the ringer. So, if your 1979 penny looks like it's been kicked around for a few decades, it's still valuable, but don't expect a lottery win. But hey, even if you find a rough one, it could still be worth a pretty penny. No pun intended. Speaking of finding rare coins, this brings me to a point I always like to make: coins are a journey, not a destination. Finding valuable coins like the 1979 no-mint mark penny doesn't happen overnight, but with patience, knowledge, and a bit of luck, you might just hit the jackpot. And if you really want to know how to spot these treasures before anyone else, you're in the right place. So, if you're new to coin collecting or just looking to learn more about how to make your coins worth more, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We've got tips, tricks, and strategies on how to find these rare coins and turn them into serious cash. And trust me, if you think a 1979 no mint mark penny is impressive, just wait until you see some of the other coins on my list. Spoiler alert, there's a lot more where that came from. So, keep hunting for those pennies, keep learning, and most importantly, keep checking those pockets. You never know when you might come across your next $1 million find. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll catch you next time with more tips on coins that could make you rich. Hey there, coin enthusiasts and casual collectors alike, welcome back to the channel where we turn your loose change into life-changing fortunes. If you're the type who still digs through your couch cushions hoping to find something valuable, you're in the right place. Today we're diving into one of the most surprising $1 million coins out there, the 1968 no mint mark Lincoln penny. That's right, this little copper coin is worth a jaw-dropping $1.1 million, so stick around because you don't want to miss why this coin is basically the Beyoncé of pennies. So let me set the scene. It's a lazy Sunday afternoon. I'm sorting through some old change like the coin nerd I am when suddenly I spot a 1968 penny. My first thought was probably like yours, man, it's just another penny, right? But then I noticed something interesting. No mint mark. Intrigued, I did a quick search and bam, I was hit with the revelation this little coin could be worth over $1 million. Safe to say my heart rate spiked faster than when I see a clearance sign at the coin shop. Now let's get into why this particular penny is worth so much. First off, the no mint mark means it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which was typical for pennies at the time, but the real magic happens when you realize how rare it is to find one in pristine condition. There were a lot of these minted but surviving ones that still look brand new. Well, that's another story entirely. You see, coins can get pretty beat up after 50 plus years, especially something as common as a penny, but collectors are going wild for flawless specimens that somehow survived without getting scratched, dinged, or tarnished. That's the $1 million difference between a penny that buys you a gumball and a penny that buys you a house. Why is it valuable? Well, it's not just the age or the no mint mark, it's all about condition. An MS67 or higher graded 1968 no mint mark penny is a unicorn in the coin world, plus any small errors or unique features can add even more to the value. Imagine owning a penny that's not only rare but also carries a mint error. That's like finding out your cat is actually a lion. You might be thinking, okay, great, but how do I know if I've got one like this in my change jar? Start by looking at the condition. It should look almost untouched, no scratches, no discoloration, and sharp details. Flip it over, check for any oddities or errors, and of course no mint mark on the front. If you're not sure, head to a professional grader, but be warned, not all are worth big bucks even if they look good. It's like trying to find a perfectly ripe avocado at the grocery store. Some look perfect on the outside but are mushy and disappointing on the inside, and that's why the 1968 no mint mark Lincoln penny is one of the most sought after coins among collectors. Imagine the excitement of finding one in your spare change, your average penny turning into $1 million payday. Now wouldn't that be something? If you enjoyed today's dive into coin history and how to make your pocket change work for you, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. I'll be back with more tips and tales about coins that could make you rich, so keep that change jar handy because you never know when fortune will strike. Hey there, coin hunters. Ever dreamed of stumbling across a penny worth more than $1 million? Yeah, a penny. Today, we're diving into the fascinating story of the 1995 D mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, a little copper coin that's making big waves in the numismatic world. You won't believe how this seemingly ordinary penny could make you a millionaire. So, grab your change jar, and let's see if you're sitting on a small fortune. I'm at a yard sale, casually browsing through a box labeled random stuff, 50 cents each. Among the old buttons and mismatched earrings, I spot a shiny little penny. I pick it up, and my heart skips a beat when I see the date, 1995. I'm not saying I was instantly a millionaire, but let's just say I might have floated home on a cloud, clutching that penny like it was the Hope Diamond. Spoiler alert, it wasn't the D mint mark version, but hey, it gave me a story. Alright, let's get into it. The 1995 D mint mark Lincoln penny is a bit of a rock star in the coin world, currently valued at a whopping $1.2 million. Yeah, you heard that right. A penny worth more than most houses. Now, why on earth is it so valuable? It all comes down to rarity and condition. This coin was minted in Denver, and the D mint mark can be found just below the date on the coin's obverse side. Well, it's a combination of a minting error and extremely high quality. Some of these pennies feature a double die, where the date and lettering appear slightly doubled. This error is a jackpot for collectors. But even without the error, high-grade versions in mint condition have sold for crazy amounts. Now, let's talk about what to look for. First off, that shiny D mint mark. Next, check the coin's overall condition. Coins with minimal wear, shiny luster, and no visible scratches are the ones that make collectors open their wallets. And if you find a double die error, start planning your dream vacation, because you're looking at some serious cash. Did you know that back in 1995, gas was around $1.15 per gallon? Imagine paying for a tank with a single penny. Okay, maybe that's pushing it, but still, it's pretty wild. If you think you've hit the jackpot, don't just shove it in a drawer. Get it authenticated by a professional coin grading service. A certified coin will not only have its value verified but will also be preserved in a protective holder, boosting its market appeal. There you have it, folks. The 1995 D Mint Mark Lincoln penny, proof that sometimes the smallest things can be worth a fortune. So, next time you're digging through that change jar or rummaging at a yard sale, keep your eyes peeled for this little copper miracle. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We've got more coin stories, money tips, and treasure hunting strategies coming your way. Who knows, maybe next time, we'll uncover another $1 million find. Drop a comment if you've ever found a rare coin, and share your story. I'd love to hear it. Hey everyone! Welcome back to the channel where we dive into the world of coins that are worth way more than you'd think. Today, we're talking about a penny that might just change your life, or at least your wallet. Yep, I'm talking about the 2013 No Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny, currently valued at an astonishing $1.3 million. Yep, you heard that right, a penny worth over $1 million. How on earth can a 2013 penny be worth that much? Well, stick around because we're about to spill the beans on why this tiny copper coin is causing such a big stir, so let's break it down. The 2013 No Mint Mark Lincoln penny might look like your average, everyday penny, but it's actually got something special going on. The lack of a mint mark means it was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, but what really makes this coin special is its rarity and a unique error that occurred during production. I used to toss pennies like these into a jar without a second thought. One day, I was sorting through that jar looking for a coin to scratch a lottery ticket, and boom, I found a 2013 penny. At that time, I had no idea it could be worth more than the ticket itself. Turns out, the value comes from a combination of factors, mainly the minting error and the pristine condition of the coin. Most of the time, errors in coins mean something went wrong during production, like a doubling in the design, an off-center strike, or even the wrong metal being used. In the case of the 2013 penny, collectors are particularly interested in versions that have a distinct die crack or other minor flaws that make it one of a kind. The coin's value shot up because collectors are willing to pay top dollar for errors from modern coins. It's like finding a typo in a first edition book. It's rare, quirky, and collectors love it. Plus, coins from the Philadelphia Mint without a mark can be overlooked easily, making them like hidden gems in your spare change. I'll be honest, ever since I learned about the value of this coin, I've been eyeing every penny like it's a potential gold mine. One day, my friend saw me inspecting a handful of change and asked if I was planning to open a detective agency for pennies. Hey, if the job pays $1.3 million, sign me up. Okay, so how can you spot one of these? First, check for the no mint mark and look closely for any irregularities, especially around Lincoln's face or along the edges. If you find one in pristine condition or spot a die crack, you could be holding onto a small fortune. So, there you have it, the 2013 No Mint Mark Lincoln penny that could make you a millionaire. Who knew that a little copper coin from just a few years ago could be worth more than some cars? Next time you're rummaging through your change, give those pennies a second glance. If you enjoyed today's video and want more tips on valuable coins, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on finding treasure in your own pocket. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where we dive deep into the world of coins worth serious cash. If you're new here, you might want to hit that subscribe button because you wouldn't want to miss out on finding out that the spare change rattling in your pocket could be worth millions. That's right, today we're talking about a seemingly ordinary penny that's anything but ordinary. It's the 2019 No Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny, and guess what? It's currently valued at a jaw-dropping $1.40 million. Now, before you start digging through your coin jar, let me tell you why this penny is worth more than your car, your rent, and probably your entire wardrobe combined. This little copper superstar has collectors buzzing, and today we're going to break down what makes it so special, how to spot one, and why it's causing such a commotion in the coin community. Alright, quick story time. You know that moment when you're doing laundry and find a crumpled dollar bill in your jeans pocket. It's like winning the mini lottery right now. Imagine finding a penny that could pay off your mortgage. Yeah, that's basically what happened to a guy named Mike. Mike is an average dude like you and me, working 9 to 5 just trying to make ends meet. One day, while sorting through his loose change, he spotted a 2019 penny. Nothing fancy, just a regular no mint mark penny, but being the curious guy he is, he did some research. Boy, was he in for a surprise. Turns out his humble penny was the very coin collectors have been chasing after. The kicker, it sold for $1.4 million at an auction. No kidding. Let's dive into why this penny is worth more than a tropical vacation in Bora Bora. First off, the no mint mark part. Usually coins minted in Philadelphia don't have a mint mark. That's nothing new, but what sets this 2019 penny apart is its rarity and condition. You see, most of these coins are circulated, which means they've seen better days, but if you have one in pristine condition, we're talking uncirculated, shiny and flawless, you might just have a small fortune on your hands. Why is it so valuable? It's all about the combination of rarity and demand. 2019 pennies without a mint mark are already less common, but when you add flawless condition into the mix, collectors go wild. Imagine you're at an auction and someone's waving around a paddle like they're trying to swat a fly. That's the kind of frenzy this coin can cause. Okay, let's get practical. How do you know if you've hit the jackpot? Look at the coin and see if it's dated 2019 without any letter under the date. That's your first clue. Then check the condition. If it looks like it just came out of the mint without scratches, dents, or discoloration, you're in luck. Did you know that some collectors are so obsessed with Lincoln pennies they'll spend their weekends at flea markets just hoping to stumble upon one of these treasures? Dedication, right? Alright, so what's the moral of the story? Check your change, folks. The little copper coin at the bottom of your bag could be the one that changes your life. Mike didn't think twice about his spare change, and look where it got him. Imagine finding $1 million penny among your loose coins. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more tips on coins worth serious money. You never know what treasure you might be holding right now. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin. I'd love to hear your story. Stay tuned for more coin adventures, and as always, happy hunting. Hey there, coin enthusiasts, welcome back to the channel where we uncover hidden treasures lurking in your pocket change. Today we've got an incredible story for you about a tiny copper coin that's worth a jaw-dropping $1.5 million. Yep, we're talking about the 2003 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. It's time to find out why this humble coin could make you a millionaire, so stick around now before you start tearing through your piggy banks. Let me tell you a little story. The other day I was cleaning out a junk drawer, you know, the one stuffed with old receipts, mismatched socks, and random coins. I came across a penny and for a second thought I struck gold. My heart did a little dance, but alas, it was just an ordinary penny. The excitement though got me thinking, what if it had been one of those rare valuable coins? That's what brought me here to spill the beans on this $1 million penny. So what's the deal with this 2003 no mint mark Lincoln penny? Why is it worth so much, and how can you tell if you've got one? Let's dive into the details. First off, what exactly does no mint mark mean? Well, coins minted in Philadelphia typically have no mint mark, while coins minted in Denver and San Francisco bear the D and S respectively. But not every 2003 penny without a mint mark is worth a fortune. There's a catch. It's all about rarity, condition, and those little quirks that make collectors go wild. One of the key factors that makes this penny valuable is its condition. Coins graded MS70, the highest grade, are flawless even under magnification. If your penny looks like it just rolled out of the mint, you might be in luck. Now here's the kicker, some of these pennies were accidentally struck with a rare error like a double die or a planchet flaw. That's the sweet spot coin collectors dream of. So if you've got a 2003 penny without a mint mark, give it a close look. Check for doubling in the lettering or any odd textures. These quirks can be the difference between a regular coin and one worth $1.50 million. Now you might be wondering, how in the world can a single penny fetch such a crazy price? Well, it's all about supply and demand. These error coins are so rare that collectors are willing to pay a fortune to own one. Imagine paying $1.5 million for a coin you could find on the ground. Insane, right? And hey, even if you don't find $1 million penny, it's still worth checking your change, because you never know what little treasure might be hiding there. Plus, it's a great conversation starter at parties. Oh hey, did you know this penny might pay off my mortgage? Alright, coin hunters, that's a wrap on today's $1 million penny story. Who knew that something so small could be worth so much? Before you head off to dig through your coin jar, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss a story about coins worth a fortune. Let me know in the comments if you found any rare pennies or if you've had a similar as this at moment. And as always, keep searching, keep collecting, and maybe one day you'll hit the jackpot. See you in the next video. Hey there, fellow coin enthusiasts. Have you ever thought about digging through your change jar just to see if you've been sitting on a fortune? Well, today you might just want to do that. We're diving into the incredible story of the 2011 D mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny that's worth a jaw-dropping $1.6 million. Yep, you heard that right. $1.6 million for a single penny. If that doesn't make you rethink every coin you've ever tossed in a tip jar, I don't know what will before we jump in. If you love discovering coins worth more than your car, your house, or maybe your entire life savings, make sure to hit that subscribe button. You don't want to miss out on more hidden treasures in your pocket change. Alright, now that you're officially a treasure hunter, let's get to the juicy details about this legendary penny. Why is this 2011 D penny so darn valuable? Well, it's not just your run-of-the-mill copper coin. It's a rare error coin that collectors are absolutely losing their minds over. These pennies were minted at the Denver Mint, hence the D mark, and somehow, a few of them ended up with a striking error that makes them worth a fortune. I guess even the Mint has those oops moments, huh? That makes Honest Abe look a little less honest and a lot more like he's seen some things. It's like he just found out how much his penny is worth and can't believe it either. A few months back, I was at a garage sale, just minding my own business, when I spotted a jar of coins for sale. You know, the kind, dusty, neglected, and priced at like $3. Naturally, I grabbed it. I mean, who doesn't love a good coin mystery, right? Long story short, I didn't find the $1 million penny, but I did walk away with a couple of wheat pennies and a sense of triumph. The thrill of the hunt is half the fun, so, how can you spot this golden ticket of a penny? Check the date first, it must be from 2011 and have the D mint mark. Then, closely inspect Lincoln's portrait for signs of doubling, especially around his eyes and mouth. If you see Abe looking like he just realized he's worth $1 million, you might just be holding the real deal. Why the heck is it worth $1.6 million? It's simple: rarity, condition, and the sheer excitement of finding something this bizarre and unique. Coin collectors are like treasure hunters, but with more magnifying glasses and way less pirate gear. Only a few of these error pennies exist, and collectors are willing to pay big bucks for a pristine one. The 2011 D mint mark Lincoln penny that could turn your couch change into $1 million payday. So, next time you get a penny in your change, don't just toss it aside. Take a closer look. You never know when Abe Lincoln might be your financial guardian angel. If you enjoyed today's story and want to learn more about coins that could make you rich, make sure to like this video, drop a comment if you've ever found a rare coin, and hit that subscribe button. I'll see you next time with more coin hunting tips. Happy searching, and may your pockets always be full of $1 million pennies. Hey coin enthusiasts and casual pocket change checkers. Imagine this: you're digging through your couch cushions looking for some spare change for a coffee, and you come across a 2016 penny. You shrug, toss it back in your wallet, and move on. But what if I told you that little penny could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.7 million? Yep, you heard that right. Stick around because today we're talking about the 2016 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny that could literally make you a millionaire. I'll cover why it's so valuable, how to spot one, and how you can cash in if you're lucky enough to find one. Plus, I'll share a quick story about how I almost missed out on a valuable coin myself. Spoiler alert, I'm still kicking myself. First off, this penny comes from the Philadelphia Mint, which traditionally doesn't put a mint mark on its coins. So, if your 2016 penny doesn't have a little letter under the date, that's totally normal. The real kicker here is not just the lack of a mint mark, it's a specific error that makes this coin insanely valuable. And now, we're talking about a coin that looks pretty much like every other Lincoln penny. But some of these bad boys were struck on the wrong planchet. Translation: the coin was minted on a different metal than usual, causing it to weigh differently. Instead of the usual copper-plated zinc, some 2016 pennies were struck on older bronze planchets left over from previous years. It's like finding a vintage car with the wrong engine. It looks normal but performs differently. These error coins are super scarce, and collectors go absolutely nuts for them. One of these rare pennies was auctioned for $1.7 million because it was authenticated as a genuine error coin in mint condition. Condition matters a lot. A few years ago, I was at a coin show when someone brought in a penny they thought was just a random old coin. Turns out, it was an error coin worth thousands. I could see the guy's face go from I need to lie down. That's the magic of coins, folks. So, how do you know if you've got one of these golden tickets? Start by weighing the coin. A regular 2016 penny should weigh around 2.5 grams. If yours weighs around 3.1 grams, you might be in luck. Also, take a close look at the color and texture. Bronze coins have a richer, deeper tone compared to the more modern zinc pennies. If you think you found one, don't just toss it in the piggy bank. Get it verified by a professional coin grading service. The investment is worth it because an authenticated error penny can change your life. Alright, coin hunters, that's the scoop on the 2016 no mint mark penny that could make you a millionaire. Don't forget to check your change. One quick look could mean the difference between 1 cent and $1.70 million. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on spotting valuable coins, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. You don't want to miss out on the next potential treasure hiding in your pocket change. Leave a comment if you've ever found a valuable coin or just want to share your thoughts. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where we dive into the world of pocket change that could change your life. Yep, today we're talking about a penny that's worth way more than 1 cent. In fact, it's worth a jaw-dropping $1.8 million. Yes, you heard that right, $1.8 million for a single penny. And the best part, it could be sitting right in your loose change jar right now. Alright, quick question. When was the last time you actually took a second to look at your pennies? I mean, really look at them. If you're anything like me, it's probably been a while. Most of us just toss them in a jar and forget about them. But after today, you might want to grab that jar and start digging. So what's the deal with the 2005 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny? Why is it worth more than a small house? Well, let's break it down. First things first, what exactly is a no mint mark penny? It's pretty much exactly what it sounds like. Usually pennies have a little letter stamped on them to show where they were made, like D for Denver or S for San Francisco. But the no mint mark means it was minted in Philadelphia, and for some reason these little guys are fetching insane prices these days. I mean, who knew Philly would end up producing million-dollar pennies? Now let me tell you why the 2005 version is so special. It all comes down to rarity condition and a little bit of collector frenzy. You see, back in 2005 something went a little haywire in the minting process. Some pennies were struck with minor errors like doubling or slightly off-center designs, and collectors go nuts for that stuff. Imagine one tiny flaw and suddenly you're rich. Sounds like my high school art project all over again, except no one paid me $1.8 million for it, and yes, there are fakes out there. Some folks will take a regular 2005 penny and try to scrape off the mint mark to cash in, but seasoned collectors know how to spot the real deal. It's all about the texture, the strike, and the details. Plus, experts can spot a fake faster than I can lose my car keys. A few months ago, I was helping my grandma clean out her attic, doing my grandchild duties. We found this dusty old jar of coins, and I jokingly said, maybe there's $1 million penny in here. Fast forward to me frantically Googling the value of every coin we pulled out. Spoiler alert, no $1 million penny, but we did find a wheat penny from 1944, which is still pretty cool. Moral of the story: always check your change, you never know what you'll find. That little 2005 no mint mark penny could be your ticket to financial freedom. So go check your change, your couch cushions, heck, even the floor of your car. You might just strike it rich. And hey, if you love learning about coins worth big bucks, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. That way you'll never miss out on another money-making tip. Leave a comment if you've ever found a rare coin and share your story. I'd love to hear it. Hey there, coin enthusiasts and curious collectors. Ever heard of a penny that's worth more than your car? Yeah, I know what you're thinking. A penny worth millions? Sounds like one of those wild internet rumors, right? Well, buckle up, because today we're talking about the 2015 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. You know, the kind of penny you'd probably toss in a tip jar without a second thought. Turns out, one of these little copper coins recently sold for a jaw-dropping $1.70 million. Yeah, let that sink in for a moment. $1.7 million. For a penny. I'm not saying your spare change will make you rich, but you might want to take a closer look at your pockets after this video. Stick around, because I'm not just going to tell you why this penny is worth so much, but also how you can spot one and potentially cash in. So, what's the deal with the 2015 no mint mark Lincoln penny? First off, it's just your typical modern penny at first glance. Abraham Lincoln's familiar profile on the obverse, the Union shield on the reverse. Nothing special, right? Wrong. This coin is unique because of its lack of a mint mark. Normally, 2015 pennies minted in Philadelphia don't carry a mark, but this particular one isn't about the minting location. It's all about a rare error that makes collectors lose their minds and open their wallets. The story goes that a batch of these pennies was struck using a rare double die obverse. Imagine seeing Lincoln's face slightly duplicated, like he's got a ghostly twin right there on the penny. It's subtle, but once you see it, it's unmistakable. That's where the real value comes in. This error makes the coin incredibly rare, and collectors go crazy for rare errors, especially when they're tied to modern coins. And now, let me tell you a quick story. I remember the day I found a penny on the sidewalk outside a coffee shop. I picked it up, because hey, it's still money. Little did I know, that penny sparked my fascination with valuable coins. Fast forward to today, and every time I see a penny lying around, I can't help but check it out. You never know when you'll stumble upon a $1 million find. So, how do you know if your 2015 penny is the golden ticket? First, look closely at Lincoln's face. If you notice any doubling or distortion, especially around his profile or the date, you might be onto something. Next, consider having it checked by a professional coin grader. Trust me, it's worth it. You could be sitting on $1.7 million without even knowing it. Alright, folks, now it's your turn. Check your change, your piggy banks, even that jar of pennies gathering dust on the shelf. Who knows, maybe your next cup of coffee will be on a penny worth more than a mansion. And hey, if you enjoyed this video and want more tips on coins worth serious cash, hit that subscribe button and join our community of coin hunters. You never know when the next big find will show up. Hey there coin enthusiasts, welcome back to the channel where we dig up hidden treasures from your pocket change and explore coins that could make you rich. Today we've got a story that's going to make you want to check every penny lying around your house. We're talking about the 2000 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny, currently valued at a staggering $1.8 million. That's right, a single penny worth almost $2 million. So stick around because you might just have one of these lying around without even knowing it. Now I know what you're thinking, how on earth could a 2000 penny be worth that much? Well, it all comes down to a combination of rarity, error, and of course a little bit of luck. See, in the year 2000 the Philadelphia Mint produced a lot of pennies, but there's something special about the ones without the mint mark. It turns out that due to a production error, some of these pennies came out without the little P on them, making them incredibly rare. And you know what, collectors absolutely lose their minds over rare errors, especially when they're nearly flawless. Imagine this: you're sitting on your couch digging through your change jar and bam, there it is, a 2000 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. I mean, can you imagine the excitement? You're holding a penny that could potentially change your life. I remember once thinking I'd struck gold when I found a weirdly shiny penny. Turns out it was just freshly minted, nothing rare about it, but hey, it's the thrill of the hunt, right? Okay, so let's break down why this particular penny is worth so much. First off, condition matters. If your 2000 no-mint Mark penny looks like it's been run over by a dozen shopping carts, then I hate to break it to you, but it's probably not worth a fortune. But if it's in pristine condition with that shiny copper glow and virtually no scratches, now we're talking money. Collectors go crazy for coins in mint state, and when we say mint state, we're talking about coins that look like they just popped out of the mint yesterday. Now, why $1.8 million? Well, the truth is it's all about supply and demand. As collectors become more obsessed with completing sets or finding unique errors, the price just keeps climbing. Think about it like this: imagine you're at an auction and two people really want the same piece of art. The bidding war gets wild and suddenly you've got a painting worth millions. Same thing here, except it's a penny and the art is in its error. And another thing, don't forget the story behind it. Sometimes the story can add to a coin's value. It's like having an old comic book with a misprint. Collectors adore a good story, especially when it's about an unexpected error coin that slipped through the cracks of quality control. So there you have it, folks. Check your pockets, your piggy banks, your couch cushions, and anywhere else pennies might hide, because you could be sitting on a fortune. And hey, if you find one, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your stories, and who knows, maybe your lucky find will be featured in one of our next videos. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on valuable coins and coin collecting, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a treasure hunting tip. Also, give this video a thumbs up if you're feeling lucky today. Thanks for watching and happy hunting. Hey everyone! Welcome back to the channel where we dig through pocket change and hunt for hidden treasures. Today, we're talking about a coin that might just change your life. The 2014 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny that's worth a jaw-dropping $1.1 million. Yeah, you heard that right, a single penny that's worth more than a mansion. So, before you start tossing your spare change in the tip jar, hold on. You might want to take a closer look. You're digging through your old coin jar, just looking for some quarters to feed the meter, and there it is, a plain-looking 2014 penny. Nothing fancy, right? Wrong. This little copper beauty could be your ticket to early retirement. Let's break down why this penny is worth so much and how you can spot one. First off, why is this penny worth $1 million? Well, it all comes down to a combination of rarity, condition, and a bit of that coin collector magic. The 2014 no-mint Mark penny is unique because it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, but here's the kicker, it has no mint mark. That alone doesn't make it valuable, but when it's paired with a pristine, uncirculated condition, things get serious. Okay, let's talk condition. Coin collectors are obsessed with grading. It's like when you're picking out avocados, you want that perfect, unblemished one. If your 2014 penny looks like it just came off the press, no scratches, no dings, and it's got that shiny copper glow, you're in luck. The top graded ones, especially in MS69 or MS70 condition, are the ones raking in the big bucks. Well, high-end collectors with deep pockets, that's who. It's like the art world, some people just gotta have that one rare piece. And since only a handful of these pennies exist in such perfect condition, they're willing to pay top dollar. Oh, and speaking of stories, let me tell you about the time I almost tossed one of these pennies. I was at the grocery store, just about to pay, and I noticed a super shiny penny in my hand. I thought, wow, this one looks brand new. I almost left it in the take a penny, leave a penny tray, but something told me to keep it. Spoiler alert, it wasn't the $1 million one, but man, imagine if it was. Now, I check every penny twice, so if you're sitting on a stash of change, it might be time to go treasure hunting. Pull out those 2014 pennies and give them a good look. Check the condition, see if there's no mint mark, and who knows? You might just hit the coin jackpot. Before you go, make sure to smash the like button if you enjoyed today's video. Drop a comment if you've ever found a valuable coin, I love hearing your stories. And don't forget to subscribe for more coin tips, tricks, and stories of pocket change worth big bucks. Hey there, coin enthusiasts! Ever thought that a simple penny could be worth a fortune? Yeah, I know, it sounds wild, right? I mean, most of us wouldn't bother bending down to pick one up off the street. But what if I told you that a single penny from 1964 with a little D mint mark could fetch you a whopping $1.2 million? That's not just pocket change, folks, that's life-changing money. Stick around because today, we're diving deep into the 1964 D mint mark Lincoln penny. We'll talk about why it's worth so much, what makes it special, and how you might just have one sitting in an old jar of coins somewhere. Plus, I'll share a little story about how I once almost tossed a valuable coin, and trust me, you don't want to make that mistake. Alright, let's start with a bit of background. The 1964 D Lincoln penny, yep, that iconic copper coin with Honest Abe on the front, was minted at the Denver Mint. Now, you might be wondering, what's the big deal? Weren't there millions of these made? Well, yes. But here's the kicker, not all 1964 D pennies are created equal. What sets this penny apart is a combination of rarity, minting errors, and of course, its pristine condition. You see, back in the day, the Denver Mint was cranking these coins out like there was no tomorrow. But in the process, a few of these pennies ended up with unique errors, things like doubling on the date or the mint mark being slightly off. And collectors? Oh man, they go nuts for errors. It's like finding a typo on a famous novel, it makes it unique and valuable. And now, let me tell you a quick story. A few years back, I was cleaning out my garage, you know, one of those epic purges where you question every life decision that led to so much clutter. I found this old, dusty coin jar. I almost just tossed it, but something told me to take a second look. And guess what? Among the pennies covered in dust and what I hope was just old candy residue, there was a 1964 D penny. Now, I'm not saying mine was worth millions, but it did get me curious enough to start researching, and that's how I fell down this amazing coin collecting rabbit hole. So, how do you know if your penny is the real deal? First, check for that D mint mark right under the date. Next, examine the coin closely. Are there any oddities, like a doubled date or a funky looking D? If so, you might just hit the jackpot. And of course, condition is everything. A penny that looks like it's been through a war? Not so much. One that's shiny and well preserved? Now we're talking. If you think you've got one of these bad boys, get it checked out by a professional coin grader. It's worth the investment. I mean, spending a little to verify a $1 million coin? Sounds like a no-brainer. Before we wrap up, let me hit you with one final thought. Coins like this are proof that sometimes the smallest things can have the biggest impact. Who knew that a penny, which most people ignore or toss aside, could hold such immense value? If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. I'm always digging up more stories about valuable coins and tips on how you can cash in on your pocket change. Who knows, the next $1 million find could be jingling around in your pocket right now. Hey there, coin enthusiasts and treasure hunters. Welcome back to the channel where we dig through pocket change and uncover $1 million secrets. Today, I've got a crazy story for you, one that might make you look twice at that random penny sitting at the bottom of your couch cushions. We're talking about the 2002 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny, and guess what? This little copper coin is currently worth a whopping $1.30 million. Yeah, you heard me right. A penny worth more than a mansion. So, grab your coin jars, because by the end of this video, you might just be sprinting to check your change. Let me tell you a quick story. One evening, while binge-watching one of those antique roadshow episodes, I decided to check out my own coin stash. Spoiler alert, I didn't find the $1 million penny, but I did find a wheat penny that ended up being worth a few bucks. It was enough to buy a coffee, but hey, a coffee I didn't have to pay for. But what if I had found that 2002 no-mint Mark penny? I'd be sitting in a beach house right now, sipping iced tea, and probably still talking about pennies because, honestly, I'm obsessed. So, why is the 2002 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny worth so much? Here's the scoop. This penny is one of those rare errors that slip through the cracks at the US Mint. Usually, pennies minted in Philadelphia don't have a mint mark, but what makes this one unique is its perfect condition and a slight error on the reverse side. Coin experts believe that only a few of these pennies were accidentally minted this way, and collectors are absolutely losing it over them now. Before you think every 2002 penny in your change jar is worth millions, let's talk about the big catch: condition. Grading is everything. The most valuable ones are in pristine, uncirculated condition. We're talking shiny, flawless, like it just came straight from the mint. If your penny looks like it's been through a few laundry cycles or stuck to a piece of gum, it might not make the cut. If you're like me and love a good treasure hunt, start by checking places where older or unique coins might lurk, like your grandma's coin jar, thrift store cash registers, or that forgotten piggy bank in the attic. You never know what you might find. What makes this coin so desirable is its rarity and the story behind it. Collectors love coins with a backstory, and this one definitely has that air of mystery. Imagine the thrill of finding one, your heart racing, wondering if you just struck it rich with a penny. Just imagine the conversation. Hey, I just found a $1 million penny. Oh cool, can I borrow it for the vending machine? Please, don't let that happen. Alright, coin hunters, now it's your turn. Start digging through those pockets, jars, and cushions. You never know where your fortune might be hiding. And if you do find one, remember who gave you the tip. Just kidding, kind of. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on coins worth big bucks, hit that subscribe button and join the coin community. Trust me, you don't want to miss our next discovery. Stay curious, stay thrifty, and happy coin hunting. Catch you in the next one. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where we dive into the fascinating world of coins that could make you rich. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button because you don't want to miss out on tips that could help you spot a fortune hiding in your pocket change. Alright, picture this: you're digging through a jar of old coins that's been collecting dust in your closet. You're not really expecting much, maybe a few dimes, quarters, maybe a mysterious token from who knows where, but then you spotted a 1961 mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. You might think, meh, just another penny. Right, wrong. That little copper beauty could be worth a staggering $1.4 million. Yep, you heard that right. Today we're talking about one of the most sought after pennies out there. So why on earth would a 1961 penny be worth so much? Well, it all comes down to rarity, errors, and condition. This penny was minted in Denver, hence the D mark, and while millions were made, not all of them are worth a fortune. In fact, most of them aren't. The secret lies in finding the right one. You see, some of these pennies have unique errors that make them insanely valuable. Think double dies, off-center strikes, or even rare metal compositions. Finding one of these can be like winning the coin collector's lottery. Now let me tell you a quick story. I was at a yard sale once doing my usual routine of pretending I actually needed more random stuff. I spotted an old coin collection, dusty and tucked away between some ancient VHS tapes. The owner didn't know much about coins, but I decided to take a chance. $5 later, I had a bag of coins and a mild sense of buyer's remorse. Fast forward to me at home sorting through them. Suddenly I spot a 1961 penny. At first I didn't think much of it, but then I remembered the buzz about these pennies. I pulled out my magnifying glass and guess what? It had a faint double die error. I couldn't believe it. My heart was racing like I just found buried treasure. Spoiler alert, it Wasn't worth millions, but it was still a rare find worth a couple $100. So how can you tell if your 1961D penny is the golden ticket? Check the condition first. The better the shape, the higher the value. Look for errors like doubling on the date or lettering, and don't forget about the weight. Some rare ones were accidentally minted on planchets intended for other coins, so they might feel a bit off. Also, make sure you get your coin authenticated before you start dreaming about early retirement. Coin grading services like PCGS or NGC can help you determine if you've struck gold or just copper. So there you have it, folks. That humble 1961D penny could be worth way more than you think. Next time you're sifting through your change or an old coin jar, take a second look at those pennies. Who knows, you might just be holding a tiny fortune. If you enjoyed today's video and want more tips on spotting valuable coins, hit that like button and subscribe for more content. Your next big find could be just a coin flip away. Until next time, happy hunting and good luck finding your $1 million penny. Hey everyone! Welcome back to the channel where we talk about coins, cash, and all the crazy stories behind them. Today, we've got a wild one for you, a humble little penny from 2002 that could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.5 million. Yeah, you heard that right. A penny. So, before you go tossing that change jar, stick around. You might just be sitting on a tiny fortune. Now, if you're like me, you probably don't think twice about those pennies you find on the floor of your car or between the couch cushions. Honestly, I once used one to level a wobbly table. But after hearing about this 2002D Lincoln penny, I went digging through every nook and cranny at home. Spoiler alert, no luck yet. But hey, that's why I'm here, to help you figure out if you've got one of these valuable little treasures hiding in plain sight. So, what's the deal with the 2002D Lincoln penny? Why on earth would a coin minted just a little over 2 decades ago be worth $1.5 million? Well, it all comes down to a few key factors: rarity, errors, and collectors who are absolutely bonkers for unique coins. First off, the D mint mark means this coin was minted in Denver. Nothing unusual about that. What makes some of these pennies so valuable are the errors. You see, sometimes the mint messes up, and that's actually great news for collectors. In the case of the 2002D penny, certain errors make it rare and desirable. For instance, there are double die errors where the date or the word Liberty appears slightly doubled. You might need a magnifying glass for this one. Other times, it's the planchet error, basically when the coin metal gets a little funky and doesn't stamp properly. And now, you're probably thinking, okay, but how do I know if I've got the $1 million penny? Great question. Start by examining the coin carefully. Look at the date and the mint mark. If you spot any doubling or strange marks, you might be onto something. Also, the condition is key. If it looks like it's been through a rock tumbler for a decade, collectors might not be as excited, and here's where it gets interesting: auction stories. One of these coins sold for $1.5 million because it was in mint condition with a verified error. Imagine that, paying $1 million for a penny. I guess some collectors just can't help themselves. So, true story, I once found a 2002 penny and got way too excited. My heart was racing. I thought, this is it. I'm rich. I spent a solid hour under a desk lamp, examining every detail, and nothing. Just a regular old penny. Honestly, my cat seemed more interested in it than I was by the end. But that's the thing, you never know until you look. You might have that one lucky find. Alright, folks, there you have it. The 2002D Lincoln penny, one of those coins that reminds us that sometimes, the smallest things can hold the biggest surprises. So, check your pockets, your car seats, and definitely that weird jar on the kitchen counter. Who knows? You might just be holding a piece of coin collecting history. Before you go, hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed our little treasure hunt today. We've got more stories coming your way about coins that could make you a millionaire. Drop a comment if you've ever found a rare coin, and as always, keep searching and stay curious. Hey there, coin enthusiasts and casual collectors. Have you ever picked up a penny and thought, nah, it's just a penny, not even worth bending over for? Well, hold on to your hats and your spare change, because today, we're diving into a coin that's worth a whole lot more than just 1 cent. Yep, we're talking about the 1960 mint mark Lincoln penny, and spoiler alert, this little copper coin could be worth up to $1.60 million. Now, before you dump out your piggy bank and start analyzing every penny you've got, let's take a step back and understand why this specific coin is worth so much. Plus, I'll share a personal story that might just make you laugh and make you want to check your pocket change a bit more carefully. So, stick around, alright, let's kick things off with a bit of history. The 1960 D Lincoln penny was minted in Denver, hence the D mint mark. But what makes this penny so valuable? First off, it's not just any 1960 D penny that's worth the big bucks. The ones fetching the most cash have a very specific characteristic: a small date over a large date. Sounds confusing? Think of it as the coin having a bit of an identity crisis. Essentially, it's like when you accidentally write your birth year wrong on a form. Except, in this case, that tiny mistake could make you rich. Back in 1960, the US Mint made two different date sizes for the penny: a small date and a large date. Sometimes, the minting process mixed the two, resulting in the legendary small date over large date variety. Collectors go absolutely nuts over this because it's super rare. Story time. So, a few years back, I was going through some old jars of coins from my grandparents' house. You know how it is, dusty old jars filled with who knows what. Anyway, I almost tossed the whole lot into a Coinstar machine. But something caught my eye: a shiny penny that didn't quite match the others. After some googling and squinting at the date, I realized it was a 1960 D penny, unfortunately, not the rare variety. But hey, that adrenaline rush was real. The value comes down to three factors: rarity, condition, and collectors' obsession with errors. These rare pennies in mint condition have fetched up to $1.6 million at auctions. Yep, someone literally paid that much for a penny. Imagine trying to buy a coffee with that. Collectors love errors because they tell a story. It's like owning a painting with an artist's unexpected brushstroke. The 1960 D penny is no different. It's quirky, rare, and highly sought after. Take a close look at the date with a magnifying glass. If you see a smaller 1960 stamped over a larger one, congratulations, you might just be holding a small fortune. Make sure to get it appraised by a professional coin grader before you start celebrating. So, next time you see a penny lying around, give it a second glance. You never know, it might just be your lucky day. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about coins that could make you rich, smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell. You don't want to miss our next episode, where we'll be exploring more valuable coins hiding in plain sight. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin or if you're still hunting for that $1 million penny. Hey there, fellow coin enthusiasts and treasure hunters. Have you ever found a penny and thought, this little copper coin can't possibly be worth more than a cent? Well, get ready to be amazed, because today we're talking about a seemingly ordinary 1989 no-mint mark Lincoln penny that could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.7 million. Yes, you heard that right, $1.7 million bucks. So, if you've got a jar of pennies lying around, this might be the moment you've been waiting for. Buckle up, because we're about to dive into the fascinating world of valuable pennies. First, let's talk about what makes this 1989 no-mint mark penny so special. You see, most coins have a little letter stamped on them, indicating where they were minted. A D for Denver, an S for San Francisco, and so on. But sometimes, things get a little weird in the minting process, and a penny slips through without a mint mark. That's what happened with some 1989 Lincoln pennies, and boy, did it cause quite the stir. Now, you might be wondering, how can a penny without a tiny letter be worth millions? The answer lies in rarity and condition. In 1989, most pennies from the Philadelphia Mint didn't have a mint mark, so finding a regular one is pretty common. But finding one in absolutely perfect, uncirculated condition? That's like finding a needle in a haystack. And if it's in pristine condition with no signs of wear or scratches, collectors go absolutely nuts over it. Now, let me tell you a quick story. One day, I was digging through my old coin jar, which I affectionately call my retirement fund. Hey, you never know. As I was sifting through, I found a shiny 1989 penny without a mint mark. My heart skipped a beat. I was like, could this be it? Could I be sitting on a fortune? I whipped out my magnifying glass, checked every detail, and then, reality hit. It had a few dings and some discoloration, definitely not the flawless gem that collectors dream of. Still, for that one glorious minute, I was practically planning my yacht purchase. But seriously, folks, if you do find one, it's crucial to get it professionally graded. The highest grade for coins is MS70, which means it's in mint condition as if it just came off the press. The 1989 no mint mark penny that's worth $1.7 million? Yep, It's one of those. Perfect, shiny, and flawless. A quick tip: if you're hunting for this rare penny, focus on rolls or collections that haven't been picked through. Estate sales, old family coin jars, or even grandma's attic could hold the treasure you're looking for. Alright, coin lovers, I hope today's penny talk didn't just blow your mind but also made you rush to check your coin stash. If you've got a 1989 no mint mark penny, don't toss it, get it checked out. Who knows, you might be sitting on a small fortune. And if you enjoyed this coin adventure, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Stay tuned for more stories about coins worth serious cash and tips on how to spot them.